Shalom to everyone out there. I just wanted to relay a message that I feel is very important that we all need to really take heed to and hearken to in this hour because it is so prevalent and it's a mass delusion that is going around, and many people have gotten comfortable. Although with their mouths, they profess that they're coming into the understanding of the word, and they're realizing that we are in Babylon, we are in the land of our captivity. This is spiritual bondage and physical bondage in the land of Egypt again, as Deuteronomy 28 prophesied that the children of Israel would be scattered to the four corners of the world and go into bondage, go into Egypt again. And so here we are in the land of our captivity. And this is not just for so-called black people or so-called Negroes. This is for everyone who is held hostage by the system. And since I'm in America, I will speak pertaining to America, but I know this is happening abroad in all regions, in all parts of the globe. But this bondage here in America is more so of a delusion. And it's like people are living this facade, as this fairy tale. And what the enemy has done, he has made this bondage feel comfortable. He's given us sheets and blankets and pillows and carpets and drapes in our prison cell. So we're still in prison, we're still in bondage, but we have some comforts of home. And now with the technology, you got a flat screen TV in your jail cell. You have your Wi-Fi with your phone and your tablets and your computers and your gaming system, all while you're still in a prison cell. So it makes the mind feel as if there is no panic, there is no need to worry. This prison isn't so bad after all. This bondage is pretty comfortable in here. And that's the mindset of most Americans. They don't realize the trap that we are in. This is a trap. This system around us is designed to keep us entangled in our mind, spiritual bondage, mental bondage, corporate bondage. You're working these slave jobs for peanuts. That is bondage. That's not freedom. That's not the rest that Hamashiach came to give us. He said, "Come to me, all those who are heavy laden, full of burdens, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burdens are light." Okay? So why do we have all these heavy burdens? So much distress, so much panic. Many people are full of anxiety, going out in public having anxiety attacks, or in private having anxiety attacks. Worried about bills, worried about tomorrow. Scriptures say don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself in Yeshua's name. Sufficient thereof is the evil thereof. I mean, why worry when you can't turn one hair gray or white or brown? You can't change what is going to happen by worrying, okay? It only makes things worse. It only causes depression. It only causes fear. It only causes anxiety. And so that's what many in this society are walking around with, all this baggage, all this luggage, tossed to and fro. And they think they are getting somewhere, but it's just a mouse on a wheel, a gerbil on a wheel, just going in a circle, running, chasing after that carrot in front of it, but never able to obtain. We are not supposed to be pursuing happiness. Happiness is supposed to be embedded within. The peace is supposed to be secluded within your soul. The comfort is supposed to be within your mind, your spirit. You're supposed to be restful, full of peace and joy. Okay? It's not to say trouble will not come. But will you be moved by it? Will you be dismayed? Will you be depressed? Will you fall into a hole? Will you be worried? Will you be stirred up and fearful? You should not be. So many people, what do? Their daily routine. They get up, get dressed, and their mind is focused on $1. And they're rushing, doing what they do in the morning, and then they get in their car and they rush to some job, rush to work for a company. It doesn't matter how much you're making. What matters is your peace still? Is your peace remaining in you? Okay? Because the scriptures does say if a man does not work, he does not eat. Yes, I agree with that. But it's a difference between working and laboring. There's a difference. You work, okay, you do what you got to do, but there still should be peace. There still should be rest. There still should be freedom. That's why I believe in owning your own business, having your own company, having your own set schedule where you can have peace of mind and soul, and you don't have to get up and have a taskmaster's chain and whip on your back and reprimanding you if you come 5 minutes late, if you're sick, you don't show up, if you have some sort of emergency, you're reprimanded. You get a strike against you. You get warnings, red alerts. But see, the mass majority, and this is the major point I want to make, is that the mass majority is loving their bondage. They love Egypt. And that's what Satan has done, because the so-called Negroes in the transatlantic slave trade, and that dysphoria, when our people were dispersed, so-called black people, we came over here and immediately put into chains, immediately put into fetters, immediately put into harsh labor, into a great struggle. And we, as a people, were heavy laden and crying out. Don't you know the so-called Negroes, the slaves, were in their sheds in the back crying out to the Most High, crying out to whom they knew as God, because they were taught God and white Jesus. They were stripped from the true identity of themselves, being the Hebrews, and of the Most High in Yeshua, also being a so-called black Hebrew. They were stripped from that knowledge. So now they were given white Jesus, but still, even in that, their heart was sincere to seek for release and relief from this harsh treatment, this harsh bondage. I mean, being raped, being forced early in the morning, getting up right in the field with no protection, didn't have gloves, didn't have helmets, didn't have hard hats, didn't have boots. They were out there barefoot like cattle, bare hands, picking cotton, getting pricked and cut and all types of things. Didn't get any bandages, didn't get any treatment, didn't get any ointment. They just got whipped further. Did you just stop picking? Slash on the back. So they were in this bondage that caused them to cry out. And even before the transatlantic slave trade, in Egypt, the children of Israel, the Hebrews, were in heavy bondage under the iron fist of the Egyptians and of Pharaoh. And that forced them to cry out for help. Some help. Didn't matter where it came from, who it came from. They needed help. They were desperate because of the intensive labor and the horrible treatment that they were receiving. So we gonna come back to the America slave system. We come back to that. They did the same thing, crying out for the Most High to come and rescue them. Send another Moses again. Come on, we need to be set free. Let us go. So Satan knows that under harsh bondage and harsh labor and under heavy burdens, we are going to cry out to the Most High. But if we're given a pacifier, if we're given, a blanket, if we're given a bottle, we won't whine too much. If you give us a little bit, give us food stamps, give us welfare, give us public housing system, give us freedom to go to your same schools, give us freedom to eat at your same tables, give us something, and we'll stop crying out to the Most High. All you got to do is just, give us education. Definitely, if we can show that we're smart just like you, then we'll stop crying out to the Most High. If we can show that we can get that same degree and go to that same college and pursue that same piece of paper, that same certificate, and accomplish, we will stop crying out to the Most High. So Satan knows that. So basically what he did was he just switched up his tactics. He switched up his strategy. Instead of putting you under harsh bondage and a yoke and a whip to your back, he's just going to give you some money, because now you're not too quick and you're not too provoked to cry out to the Most High in sincerity, because the enemy of souls know that when Yasharal, the so-called black people, when Israel, so-called Negroes, when we cry out to the Most High, or the Most High, he gonna hear. He is going to hear us in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. If we call out to the Most High in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, whom the world knows as Jesus Christ, the Most High will hear his people. The scripture says in 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verses 14, if my people, and this is Most High speaking, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So basically now we are learning to be content in Babylon, in Egypt, and we don't have any incentive to really cry out to the Most High, because hey, we got free education. I mean, we're free to go and pursue our dreams. I mean, look at the basketball players, millionaires, football players, millionaires, and most of them are so-called black. I mean, look what America has given us, the land of opportunity. We don't really need to, cry out anymore. We don't really need to turn from our wicked ways and repent and seek the face of the Most High anymore. I mean, that was just for Egypt when we had to do it, And so the Most High see that this is a stiff-necked, wicked, and rebellious generation who only seek after him for a sign and only want the Most High because of some sort of fame and success and some sort of personal pursuit that they have within their heart. They don't want him sincerely for who he is in righteousness, and they don't want the only begotten Son, the Savior, to rescue them and bring them back to honor with the Most High. So the mass majority in this nation have been duped by the lie of Satan to feel as if everything is all well. And then what happens when, for those that are in these so-called ghettos in the poverty, what happens when they cut off the welfare and the food share and the public assistance, public housing? What happens then? Chaos. Now they want to cry. Now they want to fall on their face. Now they want to weep. Now they want to wail. Now they want to lament and mourn. And then what happens to these so-called successful Negroes, successful black folks who then went off to college, got their degrees, got their accolades, got their achievements and their awards in Babylon? What happens when you can't get the job? What happens when they won't hire you? What happens when you lose that job? What happens when the banking system denies you of your own account? What happens when your degree is worth nothing? What happens when they pull the wool from underneath you? What happens when they strip you? Who do you call? Oh, now you want to call to the Most High. Oh, your degree is not working anymore. Oh, so now I need to call to the Most High. I need to call Yeshua. I need to fall on my face. Now I need to repent. It has to be some incentive behind it, huh? That's the problem. We gotten too comfortable in Babylon, and we have set up shop in the land of our captivity. We were never meant to plant our feet in this wicked soil. We were never meant to plant our stake here. We were never meant to do that. We are on a journey, sojourners just passing through, but we don't have that mentality anymore. We feel like, well, my great-grandma was here, my great-great-grandpa, he had a house on such and such road, and I grew up there, and all, this is all I ever known in America. I'm an American, this is my home. And although you may say, oh, I'm a Hebrew, I'm an Israelite, I'm of the tribe of Judah, whatever, your actions, your life around you, your livelihood speaks louder than your words, because you have planted your vineyard. You've planted your garden. You've planted your foundation in Babylon. And how hard it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Because your riches is going to hold you back. You got to let go and shed off some of this garbage that Babylon has filled you up with and loaded you up with and spoiled you with. And I don't mean rich in the sense that you got millions of dollars. Us in America, we, even at the bottom, those who are considered poor are, if they go to a third world country, then they'll really realize that they have riches. They are not as poor as they think they are. Those that are in America who they have not as much as what we would consider the wealthy. We would consider them middle class. But go to a dirt poor country and they're going to consider you rich. So basically you do have riches. You do have things that you have heaped up and gathered, all these idols unto yourself. And these things are going to stop you from entering into the kingdom, not just of the physical kingdom, not just the real literal kingdom, but the kingdom within. Because the scriptures say the kingdom of the Most High is within you. You're stopping yourself from entering into the kingdom, the peace, the rest of Hamashiach, the dependency on Hamashiach alone, for him to supply your needs. You're stopping yourself from entering into his kingdom. And also the literal kingdom that shall come. You won't enter in if you have harbored all of these idols and all of these things, all of this stuff. Many of you want to gain some sort of success and notoriety in the land of your captivity. You heaping up all these medals and awards and degrees and certificates, and you think that you have obtained and you've gotten somewhere. So now your feet is up and you have become relaxed, and Satan has got you right where he wants you. Our mentality should be always that this is not our home. This is not where we would belong. This is not our place of residence. This land called America is not for the so-called black people. It never was meant to be for us. Even if you read in the Constitution, they don't even consider us citizens. They don't consider so-called black people citizens. What they say that we are half beast. They call us 1/3 or whatever percentage they say that we are half animal. That's why they don't consider us citizens of America. So the Constitution wasn't even written for us. But yet you think you're American, and yet you think you have gained success, and you have staked your claim, and you have put your stock in America. You want to grow your family here. You want to plant your seed here. You want to leave your legacy in Babylon. Your legacy is going to be burnt up in the fire, because that is the impending doom that is coming to this land. That is what is waiting for America, is great destruction, fire, nukes, bombs. This is what America is being reserved for, a flame. So all that you are holding on to in this land is going to go up in flames with America. You see? So that's why we shouldn't harbor anything here. That's why I continually tell myself that this is not my home. I'm nothing here. I don't want anything here. That's why I haven't gotten married. Most High hasn't allowed me to get married and have children in this wicked land. Israel should be in mourning. As a nation, we should be mourning and lamenting, humbling ourselves, praying, seeking the face of the Most High, turning from our wicked ways. We should be mourning, not walking around blending in and wearing the latest fashion and looking like the heathen, envying our oppressor. That's what we're doing. We're envying the oppressor by mixing and mingling in his frequency, in the American frequency. So-called Hebrews should not be celebrating 4th of July and all of the other holidays that are established by heathens and Romans and the wicked Catholic Church. So-called Black Americans shouldn't even tag themselves as, first of all, Black, because that's a byword. That's a negative word. It has negative connotations all throughout it. Look it up in the dictionary. The definition of Black: wretched, disgraceful, gloomy, dark, dreary, scary. So you calling yourself Black and then you put American on it. American on it. Oh my Father, help us. Help us, Most High. That's why only a remnant is going to be saved. Only in a selected few who love not their life in Babylon to the death. This place is nothing to me. Seriously. The things that I have, I use to glorify the Most High. My phone, I'm using this to glorify the Most High. Anything I have, I want to use it for his glory and for the benefit of advancing his kingdom and letting his name be known. So when you see me, you know what I stand for. You don't see America when you see me. You don't smell Babylon when you smell me. You don't even think. You think if someone who never watched my videos or never met me in person, don't know me, and they just see me, I'm pretty sure they think, where did she come from? She's not from America. She's not from here. She probably from overseas, probably from Jamaica. Many people ask me, am I Jamaican? Am I Caribbean? Because I don't exude the fragrance, the stench, should I say, of America. This is not my home. This is not my land. And I don't want to go off on a tangent with this. I don't want to make this video too long because I know a lot of people, they can't stick around for too long. They can't take it. America has trained them to be so quick. They always on the move, always got something to do, always so quick to be attentive to something else. They have attention deficit disorder, ADHD. Can't stand still, can't listen for a long while, can't pay attention, can't really focus. Focus on the word. Focus and take heed. The scripture say, hearken. When you hear the voice of the Most High, harden not your hearts. America teaches the people to harden their hearts by being so quick to disbelieve and so quick to dismiss and so quick to lose focus and lose attention. That's hardening your hearts. When you lose focus When someone is speaking of the word of the Most High, speaking by way of his Ruach, speaking the truth of his word that is pricking your heart, and you lose focus and you wandering off in your mind and what's that? Is that a you say that's hardening your heart. That's America. That's American way. A stupid mind that can't really focus. Don't you know in Africa? It's a different country. I'm not giving credence or credit to Africa because I know Babylon has touched the four corners of the world. That spirit of the anti-Mashiach is all over the place. But what I'll say about certain parts and regions in Africa, you can stand there and it'll be people in the village that will stand with you for hours and listen. They're not distracted by their phone and the tablet and the TV and the screen everywhere. They're not distracted about Facebook and some instant notification and all that foolery. Their mind is more clear to really listen, critically think, crunch, and process and really reason. But here in America, we're so quick to go here, go there, microwave, fast food, fast cars. Everything is a fast pace and you got to keep up, and especially when you're talking to people. I noticed this. See, I'm the type of person, you meet me in person, I like to really listen. I listen. And then the moment I get to speak, it could be an individual, they talk so much, real fast, and they got to make sure they go fast and bang. That shows how knowledgeable they are, how fast they can talk. And so when the moment you get to speaking and you may have a pause because you're thinking of what you're going to say, the Spirit of the Most High is slow to speak, quick to listen. So when you start speaking by way of the Spirit of the Most High, and you may take a moment and you pause, you might say or you might, really take your time with it. They don't want to hear it. Now they interrupting you. Now they cutting you off. Now they think you dumb. Now they think, oh, you can't really display and you can't really show what you mean. You can't really explain yourself because you're taking time to really speak. That's the stupid land that we live in. Everything is a fast pace and it's all just quickly approaching off of a cliff. They're just fast paced racing off of a cliff. Okay? So they're getting nowhere fast. So, but I will, cut this video right here, and Yah willing that I will come back whenever he leads me to just really speak to you all, because these are very important messages, and we have to understand that this is not our home. What are we doing here? Why are we setting up shop here? We want a business here. We want our name here. We want our face here. We want our legacy here. We want our heritage here. We want everything here in America. What are we doing here? We're in the land of our captivity. We never asked to come here. How many of our ancestors took a survey and said, you know what, I volunteer to come on that slave ship and lay down in dung and be treated like a dog, treated worse than a dog actually, and raped and beaten and forced into hard labor and be underneath your foot for the rest of my life? How many took that survey and said, I agree to this? None of them. They were forced here, and we are still being forced here. And then they're playing with us, talking about reparations, playing with us. But the Most High is going to give the reparations. Vengeance is mine, saith the Most High. I shall repay. He's going to repay us. We don't need to depend on our oppressors to give us what is due, our just due. We just get prepared. Always be ready to lead Babylon. First, you got to lead Babylon in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul. But literally, get ready to leave this place because it's going up in flames. And though the sinner and the wicked and the American be joined hand in hand, they shall both not go unpunished. So though you may say, oh, I'm American, oh, this is my place, this is my land. Okay, you join hand in hand with America, you're going to be punished with America. Most High is not a respecter of person. All that's found in this land, join with the heathen, join with foolishness, join with deceitfulness, join with wickedness. You're being burned up in fire. You're being destroyed with the land. Okay? So all praise is due to the Most High. I love you, and I salute all the real and true brethren out there, the real saints, the real elect remnant. And until next time, hallelujah, shalom.